Today in Matt's class, I'm going to show you how to do a monotone illustration, not only adding one color, but two. You're just doing a black and white portrait as we've been doing, and you're adding a single color, which we've already done, and now you're adding another color. So it might seem like, why would you even need to show this? All we're doing is adding another color. And it's true that this could honestly be like almost any color, take your pick. So I'm going to use just some off-the-wall colors for these, but what's important to know is as we keep adding more colors, we have more opportunities for blending these colors together. So in the case of this, we've got this illustration here. We've got the tone of the paper, we've got our black color pencils, we've got our white color pencils, and then we've got red. So now today I'm going to add in lilac. But here's what's important to know. We've got our black and white that kind of roll into the paper here. We also have our red, and our red was able to kind of shift into white, and our red was able to shift into black. Now we've got this lilac color. Now this lilac is pretty light, so I suspect it's probably going to go into white pretty good. It's probably not going to go into black as well. Let's give it a little test and see. Transitioning away, and then here is our lilac. That blends all right. We can always go back with our white and kind of blend it back in. Now the black I suspect probably is not going to blend as well because this is a light purple. Let's see what we got. It's actually blending better than I thought it would. It's a little muddy. It's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. Nonetheless, it's kind of dangerous territory. Now the fact that we're adding in two colors, there is one more really cool thing that we can do, because now we not only can blend our red into black and white and our lilac into black and white, we can blend our red into lilac. So now we have this really cool opportunity where we can take red and now we can blend lilac on this side, and that blends pretty good. So again, I mentioned in one of the previous videos, there really aren't any colors that don't mix. Some colors, like if they're complementary colors, you're going to get kind of a brown color in between, but most colors actually mix pretty good. Colors that are closer to each other on the color wheel are going to blend really nice. So obviously purple and red are next to each other on the color wheel, so those are going to blend nice, but really it's more about value. So if you've got something like a really dark purple and a really light red, which would be a pink, even though purple and pink are really close to each other in color, dark purple is really dark and light pink is really light. If you try mixing those with waxy color pencils, you're just not going to have very much control in how those blend. It's going to be very unpredictable. Those are two colors that you would want to find a transition in between those that's going to help merge those together if that's what you're trying to do. Now, on top of that, we also at any point can make this lighter, and we can mix in a white color pencil, or we can have this go lilac and then dark, or red and dark, however we want to slice it. So this really is opening up opportunities big time. A lot of times students, we kind of move into two colors and they're like, we're just adding another color, what's the big deal? It's a huge deal, because now we have a lot more opportunities for blending. Okay, let's put it to the test. We're going to take this illustration that I already have, and I hope I don't ruin it because I'm already really happy with this monotone illustration plus one color. I'm going to go in with lilac. So one of the things that I think would be neat to do, I know there's no such thing as lilac eyes in real life, but what happens if we give just a little bit of lilac color to the irises? It's kind of cool. Has a little bit of a pop. It'll probably be better once I add in some more color in other places. Maybe I'll have just a little bit more lilac kind of blending in over here. And again, a lot of times less is more. I don't want to just find reasons to put in this secondary color everywhere. So I don't want to like, oh, let me put some purple in the hair now and let me put purple in the shoulder. I want to really be selective. So one more thing that I think would maybe help is maybe adding just a little bit more of a color pop in the background. And that's a nice little color pop that, again, it's just kind of pushing the body forward. And maybe we can do a little bit of that over here. I've already got this white outline, so that's going to kind of lighten up the lilac color. This is kind of giving me like an 80s vibe, but maybe you can do this thing where it just kind of merges into this nice opaque color over here. I'm digging that. I kind of feel like it needs maybe one more thing, one more pop up here. What can I do but not go crazy with it? I don't want to add anything into the hair, but I think just to help separate, maybe continue this angle here. This is definitely adding a Patrick Nagel flair. If you don't know who Patrick Nagel is, he illustrated the cover to Duran Duran's Rio, and in the 1980s you couldn't go into a shopping mall without being pummeled by framing shops that were just littered with Patrick Nagel art prints. He had a really cool style. It was really kind of simplified but kind of defined. That new wave kind of, it's almost cyberpunk before cyberpunk, really. At the time it felt futuristic. Now you look at Patrick Nagel and you're like, oh my god, it's so 80s. But at the time, it was like a cutting edge look. You can get crazy with it and have fun. You know, maybe I would shade this a little bit more and let this kind of fade out a little bit. I think already I'm liking that a little bit better. Less is more, a little bit goes a long way. Ooh, one more thing. I was gonna add a little purple into the stars, but that's making it a little too Americana. And I wanted this to be a little bit more rockabilly than I wanted it to be. Like 4th of July was not the aim. There is your 2-color illustration.